Hello again. We're going to be continuing our conversation about segmentation, also the concept of brand positioning and the brand value proposition. Getting segmentation right. And by the way, again, this video is and outline are based on Advertising Age, the Principles of Advertising and Marketing Communication at Work by Thorson and Duffy, and published by Cengage Publishing. Getting segmentation right. Segmentation, which we've been talking about, is a powerful tool, but consumer behavior that defines segments often changes faster than the advertiser knows. So this is something that is constantly changing. For example, teen clothing preferences. You can imagine how rapidly that changes. So you cannot allow yourself to become satisfied with the information that you have. It's going to be changing continually. Advertisers must track changes in consumer behavior constantly and closely. Segmentation and the problems of privacy and vulnerable audiences. And we have talked about this. I think we had the outline and discussion on ethics. Advertisers in particular should be concerned with the fairness of targeting kids who are vulnerable and do not have the defenses built up against advertising that people who have lived much longer have. So let's look at a video here about the ethics of advertising to children, which we should be concerned with.
Here's why we need Wii U.
Anyone can be like a superhero.
Silly rabbit, tricks are for kids.
Hi, I'm Brett. Kids spend a lot of time on screens these days. And where there are screens, there are ads, and lots of them. In this video, you're going to learn how advertising rewires kids' brains. Carl Sagan once said that the visions we offer our children shape the future. But these days, we're not treating kids like shapers of the future. We're treating them like shoppers of the future. How? By serving up ads everywhere. On TV, with product placements in the shows they watch, in apps, and even in video games. But kids don't always understand that advertising isn't designed to shape them into healthy, happy adults. It's designed to sell them more stuff. Some marketers even intentionally take advantage of young people's insecurities and their desire to fit in.
Get in, loser, we're going shopping.
And that's all because advertisers care about what's best for their bottom line, not what's best for kids. So what do children learn from this constant stream of advertising? Kids learn that buying more stuff leads to more happiness. In short, the more ads kids see, the more materialistic they become. That means that they're more likely to say they want to be rich and famous when they grow up, and that having lots of money is important. To learn more, I talked to this guy. Josh from Campaign for a Commercial-Free Childhood explained some of the consequences of these materialistic values.
Research shows that kids who are more materialistic report lower levels of happiness, and that's not surprising, given that materialism teaches us that stuff is what's important. In fact, it's actually our relationships and our life satisfaction that makes us happy.
These materialistic kids also have lower academic performance, and it may be because they're more concerned with appearing successful than actually learning new skills and ideas.
Okay, we will stop that at that point, and certainly would encourage you to watch the rest of that video. So the ethical concerns of advertising to children are considerable. Advertisers spend more than $17 billion per year in advertising directed at children. The fast food industry in particular is accused of promoting obesity. TV advertising is said to encourage materialism, which we were just hearing about in the video, and discouraging exercise, which certainly would contribute to obesity. So government intervention has been threatened and is always a concern, and so advertisers, for their own interest, need to be conscious of the content of advertising to children, the messages that are being sent to children, if they want to avoid some sort of government controls being put in place, which advertisers and broadcasters and people in the media certainly do not want. So it may be in our interest to mind our P's and Q's, as they say, in terms of the content of advertising to children. Positioning and brand value propositions. Jack Trout and Al Reese introduced the concept of positioning in the 1970s. In other words, the position of a brand relative to a competing product. I have a lot of background in sports. I think about on a basketball court, two players attempting to position themselves for a rebound. And if the basketball is the consumer, and we are trying to put ourselves in the best position to grab the consumer, so to speak. Every brand has a position in the minds of consumers, and the stronger, clearer, and more positive the position is, the better that brand will sell. The position of a brand is the fundamental meaning of the brand, and we could toss out all kinds of brands, and they will have different meanings for you, and it does not mean that necessarily one is considered better than the other, but you have an image of them in mind. We're about to talk about McDonald's, so if we talk about the position of McDonald's relative to Burger King, or Whataburger, or Wendy's, or Dairy Queen, each one of those probably have a position in your mind. The position must be simple and clear, but may have to be modified over time. Here is a really good video on McDonald's, how McDonald's approaches segmenting and positioning. And I'm not going to play the whole video for you, but I think this definitely may be one you would like to watch the entire video. Very, very well done and interesting.
In order to make their products relevant to a variety of consumers, companies use target marketing. Marketers identify specific segments of the population and position their products to appeal specifically to that segment. At McDonald's, segmenting is central to their marketing strategy. But the burger giant takes a different approach to segmenting than most companies.
Traditional consumer packaged goods companies, such as Frito-Lay, organize their marketing department by brand. And so you will have a brand manager on Doritos or a brand manager on Lay's, etc., etc. At McDonald's, instead of having a brand manager on Big Mac and a brand manager on French fries, what we have are segment managers. And so at McDonald's, you will find a director of young adults, a director of women, moms, a director of African American consumers, a director of Hispanic consumers, etc. So that structure all by itself puts McDonald's in a position to really maximize targeting marketing efforts.
In order to target markets accurately, McDonald's uses segment insights. Insights are information about consumer behavior that are developed through market research.
We're constantly, every day, all week long, collecting information and data about the different segments that each of our marketing people are responsible for understanding. And what we pull from these segments are insights, pieces of information that help us understand how to describe our products in a way that will be most compelling for the particular segment.
Consumer insights focus on the values, needs, and lifestyle of each segment. Using these insights, each segment team creates a positioning profile for every product. Then their creative team uses these profiles to produce ads targeted to relevant segments. As well,
we'll pause it at that point then, and really, again, I think very interesting to see how McDonald's approaches segmenting, positioning, advertising. Brands must be singularly positioned. So the brand should have a clear, distinct image. Advertisers must discipline themselves to use the same basic positioning with all segments. For example, BMW is positioned as the ultimate driving experience. That's the image, that's the thing that BMW has worked hard to place in the public's mind about BMW, the ultimate driving experience. Whether the product marketed is an SUV, a sedan, or a sports car. So BMW has a variety of different products, different types of vehicles that they sell. But with each one, SUV, sedan, sports car, what have you, the position will still be the ultimate driving experience. And so there's a consistent image, a consistent message about the BMW brand that applies to each of their different products. All right, so this is the end of our conversation on segmentation, positioning, and brand value propositions, and we'll continue next time. Thanks.